Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, this is Boisterous, coming to you with some Team League Tenacity out of the map Tirador Keep. Spawning up here in the top left-hand corner, we do have RN Tristan as the red Protoss, along with his teammate Sam as the blue Protoss. And on the right side of the map, we do have ProdofVoid as the purple Protoss, and his teammate bobboman as the light blue Terran. Bobboman is an interesting name. Wow, that's... everybody, that's weird. Alright, bobboman. I'm trying to figure out like what that could mean. I mean, I guess he could be named Bob O, and he just likes to have man after his name. That doesn't really make a lot of sense. So I actually have no idea, which I don't think anyone is surprised by at this point. It looks like Sam and RN Tristan have a little bit of a solid plan. Sam is going to probably be walling off the front at this point. He's going to be putting his out there, and then actually putting just buildings across the rest of it, most likely. And it looks like ProdofVoid and bobboman are going to be doing kind of a joint wall off, which is something that's way better in a 2v2, because you really don't need to see these destructible rocks for actually quite a while. Because honestly, no one's going to have the army to be able to knock down those destructible rocks anywhere near efficiently for the first 10 minutes of the game. So yeah, you want to pile on there eventually, but it can be like your 4th, 5th, 6th pile on. It doesn't really matter. And that kind of just about goes for any map, really. You very rarely need to watch those destructible rocks that cover main paths into your base. You just don't. And this is one of those maps where you're in the solo bases, but I'm pretty sure they actually got rid of all of those within the last update to the map pool, because those maps were ridiculously stupid. Yeah, they were just silly. Nobody liked those maps. God, I forget the name of it, but the one where you're just like right next to each other, but on different map pools, and one person on top and the mirrored person on the bottom on the other side has rocks leading up into their base, literally. So you can just run up and smack down someone's rocks, and then their wall and ends up screwing their teammate out of helping them, and it's just such an awkward map. I'm so glad they made it so that most 2v2 maps are combined bases now, because that's a way better way to do it. It looks like ProdofVoid is dropping a pylon in the main base of Sam, but it is going to be taken out by a little bit of an overkill of probes, but you know, perfectly fine. It looks like actually both of the pylons do manage to get taken out. I don't think this one was actually cancelled, so ProdofVoid managed to lose quite a bit of resources, and he has no forge. Now, of course, it's still perfectly natural to try to kill pylons, because let's be honest, pylons do a lot of damage, and honestly, if you do it right, you can actually delay enough mining time to the point where it's worth it so long as you get the cancel off. It's just still a little bit on the awkward side, because, you know, if you don't get the cancel off, then you're kind of screwed, because you just spend 100 minerals for nothing. It looks like bobboman is moving up to 3 barracks, which is actually a very, very aggressive play for most Terran players. It's a lot of barracks. It's going to be quite a bit of damage rolling out of here from bobboman, as ProdofVoid does take their in-base expansion, which is, by the way, another thing that I very much like about the 2v2 maps, especially the one in HOTS, in the Heart of the Storm beta. Honestly, most of the 2v2 maps are really awesome that they have right now. I think this might actually be one of them. Yeah, I think it is, and it does have this in-base expansion, which is extremely nice, especially if you're playing as a Zerg player like I do, because, you know, being able to take very, very safe bases as Zerg is a very handy thing, especially in the 2v2 matchup where you kind of just get steamrolled every game, because it's very hard to have a good enough defense to hold off 2 people. I mean, it can be hard enough versus a lot of the early pressure that can come out from Protoss, like, you know, the Immortal 4-gate, which is probably the most ridiculous strategy currently out there. I think it's actually kind of starting to fall off, but where people did like that giant Immortal push with maybe 3-4 gateways and a Warp Prism, God, I switched to Protoss to do that build for a few games. That's a ridiculous build. I think I only actually had it fail once, and it was during the first game, because I wasn't executing it quite perfectly. But that build was pretty absurd. Anyway, we do have bobboman just sticking to his barracks as ProdofVoid moves up to a robotics facility. It looks like there's no major tech choices coming out from either of our players. ProdofVoid is actually going for a Warp Prism, which is kind of interesting, as we have this move out from our red and blue Protosses, and it's just going to be a massive, massive ball of zealots, which is a little bit on the sketchy side for this Terran player, because he's going to need to micro this quite well to actually win this fight. Now, of course, if he does micro this quite well, he's basically set, but honestly, it's going to be on the awkward side, because they have basically no information on the fact that this is coming, and actually the Zealots are making the completely wrong decision, and they're actually moving to go onto the Destructible Rocks. This is a horrible plan. Why are they doing this? Why? Why are you doing this? This is horrible. Why is he not defending? You can see Destructible Rocks from this pylon. What the hell? Alright, so it looks like we do have a couple of Stalkers on the way, which is going to be fairly nice, and they are going to be able to defend these Destructible Rocks from the Zealots, and honestly, the Zealots don't want to sit there eating pot shots from Stalkers, because they will absolutely wreck them. And I can't believe that they actually went Mass Zealot, because they're going to run into an issue where all he needs to do is go Hellions, and then he wins, because Zealots kind of suck versus Hellions in a very, very, in basically every sense of the word. Zealots suck versus Hellions. However, you know, still a lot of Zealots. If they can manage to get charge up, then I would say they actually still have a reasonable shot, but so far I don't actually see Twilight Council from either of these players, so I don't really think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Where's the sound coming from? Oh, they're killing Destructible Rocks at the gold base. It looks like we have a drop of a couple of Stalkers, just going to be a little bit on the annoying side now. Of course, neither of these players have any sort of ranged unit. They do have the capability to build ranged units, they just choose not to. And it looks like we do have these Stalkers. God, so annoying. And these Zealots, actually, all of them being in the natural is very, very not good for these players. These couple pylons are going to be going down at this point in the game, and it's a little bit on the sketchy side, because this harassment is actually going to be way more effective than it should be. You should never send your entire army to kill off Destructible Rocks, especially if it's such a slow-moving army. It's just a massive ball of Zealots, because these guys definitely need to be there in order to, you know, just have a reaction to this. And we do have the harassing Stalkers, which should be able to easily load up into the Warp Prison and get away perfectly fine. Or they're not going to load up. They're not going to load up. That's an interesting strategic decision. It looks like we have 4 more Stalkers warping in for ProdofVoid here. However, unless he micros this extremely well, which it would appear he is not going to, he might just lose all of them. It looks like this one Stalker is going to be left out in the cold as he tries to kill off that Nexus, which is not going to work out that well. These 4 Stalkers are going to be doing a reasonable amount of damage to probe lines, and I'm very surprised that the Bio army from bobboman has not started moving out across the map, because honestly, this is a reasonably good time to attack. There's really no tech from either of these Zealoting players, and all they have is Zealots, and Zealots are not exceedingly amazing units for fighting Bio, especially if they don't have charge, because you just cannot catch the Bio. It looks like at this point a lot of probes have gone down for both of our players. I wish I could pull up Workers Lost, but I actually cannot. Can I pull up Units Lost? Yeah, there's been 12 and 17 units lost for our red and blue Protoss, and I'm pretty sure at this point those are almost all probes. There's been a couple of Zealots that have been going down, but this is, you know, the same size of a Zealot ball as it was at the start of the game. Really not a whole lot of Zealots have died up to this point. And it would appear that neither of these players actually even went for Warp Gate. No, they did not. They actually just sank all of their money into Zealots, which is a little bit on the weird side of the equation. It looks like they have finally wisened up and, you know, created Stalkers, because Stalkers are pretty good when it comes to killing air units. In fact, they're, you know, the only unit really that can kill air units from this building. I guess the Sentry kind of can, but it's a little bit on the sketchy side. And I guess if you really tech up far, you can get an Archon. But, you know, for the most part, it's just Stalkers that are actually efficient at it. And I'm still amazed that this Terran army has yet to move out across the center of the map, especially considering how hard ProdofVoid has been harassing. However, it looks like this is going to be the end of the Warp Prison, and there the Warp Prison does go down. So all of these Stalkers are going to get cleaned up. They might get one more Zealot, but that is going to be the... Nope, they're not even able to Zealot. Ouch, that's a little bit on the rough side. So we do have ProdofVoid's harassment finally being cleaned up. Now, of course, that was a very cost-efficient harassment. That was very nice. It held them off for an extremely long amount of time, long enough amount of time for bobboman to get his expansion, get it almost saturated for ProdofVoid to finish building his expansion, to get quite a few probes over there, to build up quite a bit of an infrastructure to be able to attack again. And really, this is kind of the point where ProdofVoid and bobboman have started to just take over the map. I'm kind of surprised to not see some tech into Colossus, especially when you're facing such a massive Zealot ball as these players are committing to. I'm actually especially surprised to not see a tech into Hellions, because Hellions are absolutely fantastic versus Zealots. Zealots are, of course, light biological units that tend to clump up and like to line up. And Hellions are extremely fast, way faster than Zealots, in fact, and it would appear that we actually have a Stargate on the way. 2 Stargates, in fact. So it looks like our Tristan is going to be rocking on down the noob canoe. He's going to be hopping right on into the Void Rays, which is an interesting decision. It's, you know, when your 4-gate Zealot attack doesn't quite pan out, definitely time to move on to the Void Rays. That sounds like a perfectly solid strategy. And did I just see some Dark Templar warping in? I did, in fact, see some Dark Templar warping in. So we do have Templars currently out for ProdofVoid, which, you know, our Tristan and Sam have nothing to fight with, because, of course, this is not the HOTS beta, and they do not have a mothership core. And that's 6 DTs. That's going to be game, because there's no robotics facility currently on the way, and this is 6 Dark Templar. That's typically not good. Let's see, how fast does this probe line go down? Yeah, this is not good. Actually, these Dark Templar aren't really attacking anything right now. They're kind of just running around the base like the little scamps that they are. It looks like they might be going for the natural of Sam. No, they're going to be going right for the Stargate. It's not even attacking the pylons that are powering, and there our interest in leaves the game. This is why you don't go 4-gate Zealot. It never ever works out, and it looks like ProdofVoid just wants to kind of sit here and watch his Dark Templar wrap up this game. You see, by the way, ProdofVoid, the game is over. What did we sit here for? Okay, there we go. Alright, well, I'd like to thank you, ProdofVoid, for sending this game on in. If you guys would like your games commentated, and I would love to commentate them, you can send them on into boisteroussc2@gmail.com, or you can post a replay SC link in the forum thread, or you can YouTube message me it, or you can post it in the comments below, or you can post it on the Reddit thread that this video will be advertised in. Yay! Also, if you would like to watch any other Boisterous action, you can head over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment and tell me your feelings and hate on me, because I love that. I thrive on it. I love the taste of my own tears. In fact, they are quite delicious things. So anyway, guys, this is Boisterous, signing out.